Well, joining us now via satellite from San Antonio in the great state of Texas is Mr. William Gray. He is the CEO of Competitive Companies Incorporated, stock symbol CCOP. Bill, good to talk to you again.
Same here. Good to hear from you again.
Well, now, Bill, Competitive Companies describes itself as a company with a patented technology which dramatically increases the speed of mobile broadband. Please give us a general overview of the company, if you would, please.
Well, mobile broadband has been pretty much the last link of how broadband is being developed over the years. In fact, our company started off with actually dial-up, so we've been through the progression from dial-up all the way to where mobile broadband is today. Our company and the patented technology that we have is very unique in that mobile broadband fits into it quite nicely. We're finding ourselves now, because of this unique delivery of broadband through cell phones and mobile devices, you're finding that it's now becoming more difficult to actually provide that delivery because of the shortage of spectrum. And our technology actually helps solve that problem by being able to link multiple frequencies together and multiple spectrums. So that's where we really feel like we have an edge now in the market.
Well, we met about a month ago in Phoenix, and you showed us a video of a broadband speed meter which was measuring your technology. I mean, the difference was unbelievable. Tell us about that.
Well, what's unique about our technology and being able to band multiple frequencies together is that we're not subject to just one frequency and the amount of speed that we can get off of one. So we were able to take 3 frequencies and pull them together, and yet we can do more than that. And what you're going to see on that meter is speeds that actually surpass 300 megabits per second on a mobile telephone. So we actually can go higher than that. We're shooting for a gig of bandwidth down on a mobile phone and mobile devices. So obviously right now we're pretty much on the edge of the market here, and we don't see anybody else delivering this.
When I see that meter just pinned like that, it's just incredible. Now, let's use an example. Let's say I want to download a movie on the internet on my device. Maybe it has 1 gigabyte of data. That might take a couple of hours. How long would it take using your technology?
Well, probably the blink that I'm doing now.
So you're talking about the difference between 2 hours and the blink of an eye. Okay. Now, has the company taken any steps to have a valuation placed on your patented technology?
Currently, we have begun to talk to people doing what's called claim analysis, and the claim analysis actually is showing where we actually fit into the industry. Those companies that have cited our patents and the type of companies that they are, we know that that's going to have a significant piece of the valuation of our patents. At this time here, we're just getting into the process of where we would actually do an actual appraisal of the patents, but we haven't done it yet.
The company's Competitive Companies, their stock symbol CCOP. Bill, let's talk about the major mobile providers. Are they your competitors, or perhaps are they your potential customers?
They're far more really potential customers than competitors. One reason is because of again, I mentioned earlier, what's called the spectrum crisis. They're having a really tough time being able to deliver a quality broadband service along with a voice service. So you're starting to see more drop calls occur on people's phones. That's the reason why. So what they're now looking to do is what's called offloading, and they offload a lot of their problems in the data delivery system to people like us. So we feel like we're really in the catbird seat for providing an offloading service.
Well, Bill, how would you answer the person who might say, well, how did this small company get its hands on something so potentially explosive from a revenue perspective? How do you answer that question?
Well, I could use a simple answer and just say that we're in the right place at the right time. But I think also we happened to identify something early on that some people just missed. I think also some of the larger carriers, they took a look at this. They didn't really see the golden nugget that was behind it. And so now we're out there developing that golden nugget.
I don't think anyone could have predicted, Bill, 23 years ago when cell phones first came into vogue, how big the mobile market would become. Now, are there any estimates as to how big this overall market is?
Yeah, it's currently about $30 billion, and that number does not include really the Wi-Fi end of the market, which is now beginning to grow exponentially across the United States, primarily to serve the offloading services that are needed by the major carriers. And just another point as to how we ended up with this technology, you were right when you said earlier about The technology that was developed, and these patents are about 10 years old. 10 years ago, no one really predicted that we would have iPhones, we would have 4G type services for broadband. No one ever saw that. So the technology that was developed was primarily for being able to backhaul all large amounts of bandwidth from point to point, not from point to multi-point. We've just carried it now to multi-point technology, and that's now what's put us in this huge race now for solving the spectrum problem.
Well, what's the next step then, Bill, for the company to move the technology right along to the market?
Well, we've already got 2 locations, test locations. We're in the final testing stage. We want to make sure that this is a carrier-grade Wi-Fi delivery system before we begin to offer offload services to the carriers. So we're now finishing up on testing of that. It's going extremely well. We're finding speeds that we never would have believed we could deliver. Now we're doing it with load testing.
You know, these smartphones that we have, Blackberries, iPhones, what they really are, Bill, as you well know, they're small computers need a lot of bandwidth. I would have to say the major carriers are really going to have no choice but to use your technology. Would you agree?
That's correct. They absolutely do not have a choice. Right now, they're quickly trying to build out their own Wi-Fi networks, but it still comes down to the same problem in the spectrum crisis side of it. There's just not enough spectrum in the sky, contiguous spectrum, for them to be able to deliver a quality broadband service, and particularly with the speeds that we have now, and the ones that we can actually produce.
Competitive companies, CCOP is the stock symbol. Bill, why is this a good time right now for people to take a closer look at your company?
Because we have what we believe is 2 valuations. There's a market valuation right now which is very low, which is great for the people that learn more about what we do and what we have. And then there's the concept value, which include after the appraisals of the patents are done and the claim valuations are done. So that gap in between a penny a share is where we're sitting closely now to where we believe we can be is a pretty substantial gap, and that means it's a great time to get into this company.
Competitive companies, stock symbol CCOP. Bill, we're initiating coverage of the company beginning this week. We'll be following you very closely through the first quarter of 2012. Looking forward to updates from you during that period of time. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you, Don.